Smilik. He's the superintendent of the Parma City Schools. He's here to update you regarding levy, the school levy that's on the ballot this November. Unfortunately, we didn't set up for the PowerPoint presentation, but good doctor has brought handouts, so everybody should have one. With that, I'll turn it over to you, Charlie.
Thank you very much, Mayor, for the invitation, and thanks. I understand you guys are coming back from summer recess, so I appreciate a few minutes here as you delve into your normal council business. I'm just going to kind of refer to the handout here. This would be the PowerPoint that we would go through. Fine, go through as a handout. We're really working this campaign around a theme: our students, our communities, our time. Essentially, we want to have the best possible facilities for our students. We want to have investments into our community that make sure that Parma Heights, Parma, and Seven Hills are attractive areas for young families and keeping pace with neighboring school districts as folks look to buy and invest into a house. And then certainly our time. And when we say our time, I think it's most important to really emphasize that our newest school, which is Normandy, the newest school that we operate right now, actually opened during the Lyndon Johnson administration. It was 1968. In that time, certainly other communities have invested. The Ohio Facilities Construction Commission, or OFCC, which would be a partner with us in the funding for this project, has invested $11 billion in school construction just since 2012. None of it in Parma. So it's our time to take advantage of that investment. They would contribute $69 million toward the cost. So with that general opening, just to work through some points. Why strategic consolidation? You see that in front of you. We always talk about 3 goals. We've practiced 3 goals with really a good level of fidelity since my start. First is practicing fiscal responsibility. You know this as well as anybody else in terms of maintaining city facilities. As you mature and as your facilities get older, the cost of simply maintaining that warm, safe, and dry mantra escalates. We've spent $5.4 million since 2015 just in routine maintenance, just making sure the roofs aren't leaking and the parking lots are paved. That's not any type of upgrade. That's simply the warm, safe, and dry mantra. The other piece, as I referenced, the state's ready to contribute $69 million toward this project. They'll actually come in the form of a credit, which will go toward a second phase of elementary schools, and so that would be a second phase that would really be much lower in cost because of that $69 million investment. Increasing student achievement, again, I address this as we open. We want 21st century learning in 21st century facilities. And while we've done a great job of maintaining our facilities, certainly we know that an upgrade such as this will make them more attractive for our students, certainly more flexible, more natural light, all of those amenities that come with new schools. Our students deserve those, just like their peers in neighboring communities. And our final goal has been improving transparency throughout our communities. Actually, I remember coming here to talk about this process that we went through as well a year ago. We had 24 meetings in 2019, 12 in the spring, 12 in the fall, and came out with a consensus plan that was based upon the data the community had given us. So we wanted to listen to people. They were all open to anyone. We didn't want some type of blue ribbon panel, so to speak. We wanted them to be open invites. We had approximately 1,000 residents participate in some way, some of them in person, many of them online in the survey, and we took that and put it into the master plan that we developed in December and are now campaigning for approval of this November. Essentially, fast facts kind of reference points here. We would divide the community into 2 halves, east and west. And so you see the east campus as a rendering. The east campus would be at the Normandy site. The west campus would be in your own backyard here in Valley Forge. When we say campus, what's important to understand is it's really 2 schools under one roof. And it's important to make that distinction. We would serve 6th through 12th grades, but it really is 2 schools with 2 bus loops, 2 bell schedules, 2 principals, 2 staffs. Our 6th graders aren't going to have lockers next to seniors. There won't be a shared cafeteria where you have that wide of an age range. But where you have some efficiency is you only have to make 1 HVAC system. You only have to have 1 kitchen that'll serve 2 cafeterias. So that's the campus style, and you also have some efficiencies in terms of staffing that way, because you're maintaining 1 campus instead of what you would have now would be 2. So the East Campus will have the same amenities as the West Side Campus: pool, auditorium, gymnasiums, And then a STEM lab. STEM is something that we've done extremely well. Actually, there's always requests to expand our STEM programming. So this would take our STEM facilities to the secondary campus level as well. And we would develop those STEM labs in a partnership with Tri-C. And they're excited to be able to do that with us. You see our architectural renderings as well as you flip over. And so that's GPD is the group that we've worked throughout this process. And they would continue to provide guidance, hoping that they would be the architect that we would actually choose. Renderings for the center campus. The center campus is Parma Senior High. And we have the opportunity to do some creative things at Parma Senior High to really make that into a community educational and wellness center. We would also keep the central office there. The part of Parma Senior High that is, I'm sorry for lack of a better term, but not exactly visually appealing. The white part that kind of juts out at you towards 54th would come down. We would actually restore. You can see on the pictures I provided on the color handout. We would restore the original look. And again, what we would have there are many district functions, such as the central office, such as our print shop, such as our information systems, our sort of our hub of technology. But we would also be able to open the existing amenities, including the pool and the gymnasiums, to our residents during the school day. So we've already done a pretty aggressive job trying to get people into our facilities, our high school specifically, to walk laps and to swim on weekends. We would be able to offer those to our residents during the school day. And so that's a really appealing vision that we hope can be attractive to folks. We would also have our culinary and cosmetology. Those are two of our award-winning career tech programs. We would have those at Parma Senior High. And if you can indulge me for a second, the real vision is, you get some folks that maybe don't have kids in the schools anymore, don't have a direct connection. They're going to come. There's going to be a UH center there as well. UH is a partner that's very excited to work out at Parma Senior High with us. They're maybe going to check their blood pressure or some type of wellness service at the Parma Senior High UH hub. They're going to walk some laps on the track that we're going to construct above the gymnasium. They're going to go down and eat lunch with our students cooking for them at the culinary center. It's that type of synergy, that type of connection we're really trying to create at that Parma Senior High Center. Auditorium will also be preserved for our arts opportunities. So that's an exciting piece of the plan. Flip it over to the west side, same thing as he said. It was very important to us as a senior administration, to our building administrators, most importantly to our board, to have two equal campuses. A lot of folks, probably the biggest question that's come out since we released our master plan was, why Parma Senior High is the one that'll become sort of a community center. And the reality is, if you wanted two equal campuses, you would have, two equally sized campuses, you would have had to draw the dividing line for attendance actually north of Parma Senior High, right around Snow Road. So, think about the logic of a student living essentially north of Parma Senior High having to walk, to make those equal. We wanted equity in the campuses. We wanted the same facility on the east side and the west side, same really amount of students. And so that was important to us, and that was a big part of why we chose that Ridge Road dividing line. Just a few educational advantages. Certainly we've talked about, from a facility standpoint, with one kitchen and the savings that comes from that, with one HVAC system, et cetera. But it also has a lot of cultural and educational advantages. Mentoring opportunities, for instance. Our seniors can be our best mentors for our sixth graders, and we have that bridge right within that school to be able to do that. Career tech shadowing experiences. We have 16 different career tech programs. We will maintain 16 different career tech programs. 2 at Parma Senior High, 7 on both sides of town. And we can really create a secondary experience with our 6th graders and 7th graders going down to shadow those CTE programs and really looking forward to something that they can indulge in or participate in when they get into the upper level grades. Program continuity for extracurriculars. So your football coaches, your band directors, those people will be on the same campus as the feeder programs for their programs, or feeder programs for their different activities. So we really like that advantage of that synergy between 6th and 12th grade really becoming one continuous secondary experience. Center campus uses, as I referenced, central district functions. We also are starting this year the ACES Center for Education. This is a program for students with autism. This was one of our endeavors. We actually originally looked at using an existing elementary school, realized that that was not practical for a number of reasons. So we're constructing that at Parma Senior High that will stay. CAS, which is Parma Alternative Secondary School, we actually graduated over 40 students from this last year. So it really was a great addition. We were really remiss as a district this large to not have an alternative secondary school. And now that we do, we want to continue to grow it. UH, as I spoke of, and you can see the slides in the next two slides to the right there, they're very excited about really building what they think can become a model of a partnership between a school district and a hospital. Recreation aspects, as I said, the arts and the auditorium wing. We also want to honor our alumni, very proud alumni here at all three schools. We want to make sure that we have a place to recognize the history, because I think that one of the pieces of our district that I'm most proud to be a part of is just the tradition and the pride that exists around all three of our high schools, particularly Parma Senior High, and we will be able to really memorialize that at that Parma Senior High location. Flip it over again, just a few more considerations to reiterate. STEM labs are really something that we want to continue to expand. As I referenced before, Tri-C is excited to be able to partner with us to structure those. Those will be also open for community use. Everything that we talk about in terms of what we're building, we envision as 18-hour campuses. And again, our track record proves that we've already started to do that. We had walking nights last year. We had open swimming times. We want to continue to expand that. This year, we had many activities planned for the summer at Byers Field. We had to not do that because of COVID, but we had movie nights planned. We had a concert series planned. So all of those types of activities, we want at all three of our campuses open to really anybody in our school district 18 hours a day. You also see sort of a devising system for the district. It's really Ridge Road. Divides us east and west when we're eventually able to build an elementary system to replace our current aging elementary schools. You'd have three elementaries on the east side that feed the east campus, three elementaries on the west side. Part of our master plan is that we guaranteed one of them will be in Parma Heights. That was important to us to make sure we honor all three cities. It's important to your mayor as well. We will also resume high school busing because we're going to have quite a distance. It's a lot of square mileage that we need to cover. We certainly don't want to ask students to walk 4 miles. From a funding standpoint, it's a $300 million project. It's actually $299,031, or $299,031,000. So it's very close to $300 million, which is much easier to say. State of Ohio would pay $69 million. It's issue 73. We received that issue number a couple weeks ago at $18.96 per month per $100,000 of home value. That little graphic on the right, it shows all of the school districts that have invested in the OCC process since 2015. Parma is not pictured on that map. What that shows you, what that tells you is we are now in the minority of school districts who have not put this investment into their school district, who have not renewed the commitment to facilities and therefore children and instruction. So we want to say it is our time. It is our time to participate, take advantage of this opportunity, provide first-class opportunities for our students, and provide an investment into communities that makes them attractive for generations to come as they have been. Last piece, if you're willing, the one ask I would have is actually, we're going to start to do a series of public service announcements for social media. We're talking about 30-second spots where we're trying to get community leaders that people will recognize. It's one thing for mayors and myself and our school board to speak. We want to really reach out to ward council folks. Ward council folks, if you know people in the neighborhood that carry some weight, 30-second spots, we'll film it. We just want you to say, hey, we support issue 73, and again, that's obviously if you're in support of issue 73, and here's why. And so I'll send an email actually tomorrow morning thanking you for this opportunity, but also asking you if you want to participate or you know anyone who might want to participate. We're building a database, and we'll hook up our camera folks with you and just record those. Social media is really important, always has been, but even more so now with COVID, and it's difficult to have block parties where you can go and speak, or really any gatherings are tough to come by, so social media is going to be even more important. So that was just a brief presentation, and I gave you a couple other handouts here. Obviously, these are the renderings. Renderings are simply that. None of these are finalized architectural plans that wouldn't be able to come until the election were to pass. But the one piece that you want to recognize is the emphasis on natural light. It's always, any part of an OFCC project, which this would be, emphasizes natural light. There's a design manual that's very specific in terms of size of classrooms, but also, the piece about the natural lighting is clearly important, and you can see that there. The other handout, just some talking points, because I know that, again, as community leaders, folks are going to be asking you about these things. None of this, was anything I didn't cover during the presentation, but again, I think that one compelling point is that this state investment is going to go somewhere. It has gone to 350 other school districts in the state of Ohio just in the last 7 or 8 years. It's our time to seize that. We want that money to come here and stop to go to neighboring communities that are then investing in trying to attract folks that you want to attract, that make your neighborhoods stable and exciting and dynamic. So I think that's an important consideration in moving forward as well. So with all those things said, I would take any questions that you have. Happy to do the best I can to answer them.
Questions? Do you have any questions? No?
Good. Not at this time.
Superintendent Smilek, you know you have my total support, endorsement, whatever I can do. Whether it be the 30-second spot or whatever, just let me know. Shoot out that email tomorrow, and I'll let you know, or they'll let you know if there's anybody here interested. I do have a few residents I think that might be interested, and I'll let you know.
Thank you. Okay, well, thank you all for your time. Good luck with your session tonight, and welcome back.
Thank you, Doc.
I'm going to walk Charlie out. So the next two items on the agenda for tonight, Director Sebas will take both of them. They're in regards to pocket parks, item 2.
Thank you.
And the Potomar Design Group wayfinding master plan. Joe, you want to fill everybody in?
Make sure I talk in this way. Okay, the first two things on there with regard to pocket parks on Pearl Road. The first one that you've got on your agenda for tonight is for an easement with the Cleveland Electric Illuminating Company. And it's the property that's it's directly across the street from Lengy's over there. And they've agreed to allow us to put a pocket park in there. We've worked with our engineer, worked with them as well, and their engineers, and all the legal documents have been prepared to transfer it over. There's no cost associated with doing this to the city other than to put the park in. And the only, I wouldn't say a concern, the only thing that they had recommended was just that, we agree to maintain that park. So that's the first one. And also, just to restate it, that putting these pocket parks in are also following recommendations of the master plan with regards to streetscape enhancements and stuff like that, so it's heavily on that. The second pocket park was with the regional sewer district right over by Reservoir Drive. There's actually 2 parcels they're willing to give us. The one that's got a parking lot on there, there's a relief sewer that's under there. And so all they said is, look, we'll give you the land for $1. We just need to have access to that sewer if we ever have to get in there. That's their only contingent thing. And again, looked like both of them, all the legal documents have been prepared, and it's ready to go. And they were both referred, council referred them to planning. Planning's approved it and recommended it, and that's what you'll be voting on tonight, as far as both of those are concerned. Any questions on the pocket parks? And the only dollar figure with the reservoir was a $1, just to transfer it for a $1 fee, that's all. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Thank you. You said the only cost would be to put the park in.
Correct.
Would we be doing that in-house or?
That's our goal. To
Okay,
do it in-house,
okay.
especially now with what's going on. But at least we get everything postured in place, and then we can plan to do it in the future here.
Thank you.
Councilman? I would say next year, springtime. I believe that's what we're kicking around.
Our goal is to have it finished before Phase 2 of Pearl Road is done. It will be done in-house. Dennis is putting some numbers together for the 2021 budget. They'll pour the concrete pads, we'll put in the landscape. We may try to go through some grants for the benches and trash cans and things like that. We may go try to get a grant through that, but everything else will be done in-house.
Thank you.
Kind of my question, what are you planning on putting in these pocket parks?
The idea is that we've got 3 or 4 of them on would be the north side of Pearl Road, and then what we would do is, our goal is to put a couple on the south side of Pearl Road, and again, they would mimic the other parks that we would have. You know, the same thing with benches, trash can, a place to sit, just light landscaping around them, and bike racks too.
Like the ones that we have on, the one down here in Pearl, so it's not gonna be the big elaborate that we have over.
Columbo Park? No.
I just wanna make sure,
No, I get it, yeah, we're gonna mimic, we wanna keep everything flowing
okay.
and match with the corridor, so. Any other questions? All right, and the next one will be on the agenda is a resolution authorizing the adoption of the Pogemeyer Design Group Wayfinding Master Plan. And as the resolution says here, this was sent to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission reviewed it, and with the Planning Commission's recommendation, I asked that City Council adopt this master plan, the Pogemeyer Master Plan. And it's a wayfinding and branding master plan. And again, that's another part of our, it started with our TLCI planning study that incorporated into our new updated master plan. So we're following those recommendations.
Yep.
Yes,
Councilwoman?
But, isn't it, I thought it was with the installment of the new signs, is this something that is
Yeah.
done, finished, or
No, there's a lot more to go. No.
more signage, a lot more?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It's gonna take a while to find the funding to complete it all.
Yeah.
What's the cost to this?
That particular plan was funded through the Cuyahoga County Supplemental Grant Program, so there was no cost to us, it was completely paid for. Any of the signs that are starting to go up have all been funded through the CDSG program.
These will be too?
Yes, to the best of my ability, that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing.
Well, we know, Joe, the next phase we do know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a second phase that we just got this year that'll be going in. There'll be 6 signs going on Pearl Road. They like these projects. I mean, the Department of Development likes, they like phased projects too. So this, due to the nature of it going throughout the whole city, it's gotta be phased.
This is an overall master plan. It's like everything in here is not gonna be implemented this year. It'll be implemented in phases, and we,
It's like your goals and actions of the master plan. You
So
can't
the,
go in and do it.
the idea is the next phase, they should pay for because they like,
Well,
there's
we have
gonna
to
be money
apply.
out there for that phase, so then you're looking at possibly every phase, you're gonna have money, and if not, then we come up with the money.
Well, yeah, but we're gonna try to get the money.
Well, I understand that, but I just,
All you're doing is, you're making an application, so with the supplemental grant program, there could be 70, 90 applicants at the same time, so it's all very competitive, but, you apply. And there's also, there's a CDBG, and there's some other programs that are out there too that you can apply. TLCI through NOACA, that wayfinding is an eligible project. We got, in fact, some of the signs, that's what we got, yeah. And they're in the TLCI, there'll be some signs going in, so. But it's another funding source. NOACA's TLCI implementation program. There's a number of different ones, so. Any other questions?
if there's nothing further, I'm gonna try to take a quick break between this caucus and the council meeting. Katie's got iPads to give to council. Thank you, Director Sebas. Sarah, we're done until the council meeting at.
Oh, wait, Mr. Councilman Haas got one more question.
It's not a question, it's just a comment.
Oh,
I know this has been a from my time in the city when we worked together. I know how much effort you have expended and how much work Christine has done into this. And I just want to compliment both of you and say that I think you've done a great job so far. It's not easy to get those dollars, and you've both done the owner's job in terms of trying to get that grant funded to pay for this. And it's a lot of work. But you've really done a very good job, so I want to publicly congratulate both.
Thank you, Councilman. It's also a blessing to get a professional study paid for too, you know, I mean, we're talking and professionals putting together for us, so. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.